Hi, my name is Elliot Kelly. I'm a coach here at Dorado Jiu Jitsu. We're going to go through some movements and exercises to help learn how to move and balance our body while we're on our feet standing. It's really important that you maintain a strong base. It's really important that you can maintain your balance, and when you find yourself getting out of balance, you're able to quickly reset yourself to maintain a strong base and get back into balance. Let's get started. The first exercise is going to be getting comfortable just in our lunges. One lunge is going to be out to the side. So I'm going to have one leg straight and bending my other knee, stepping out wide and just getting low to the ground here. You can use your hands on your knees to help kind of boost yourself up and down. As you get more comfortable and gain strength within your legs, see if you can do it without your hands. Challenge yourself to maybe get low into that position while still keeping your other foot connected to the ground. Another lunge is this forwards and backwards lunge. I'm going to get myself set in kind of a railroad track with my feet, and then I'm coming down with my back knee, and then I'm coming up. Sometimes this can put a lot of unnecessary or too much pressure on your toes and your foot, so getting used to that position, if there's any kind of pain or discomfort coming out of it, working through it. It can also be helpful, let's say I can't go down all the way, maybe just start on the ground. Start with your knee up, your toes are engaged, and then using your hand to help push yourself up and out of this position. Use a lot of padding for your knee. So get a blanket, get a towel. Your knee shouldn't have to take a bunch of stress and damage from hitting the ground. Our second exercise is the penetration step. And this is used in wrestling to help cover some distance, right? To cover some distance from a low angle to get back up to your feet and finish your attack for the takedown. So I'm going to start with one knee up, one knee down, and I'm going to go knees over toes, straight over, nice and slow. If I want to use my hands to help me get used to this position, I can. I hit my knee, I step my leg up, and then I come up into a nice squat. Really think about keeping your chest up and open, keeping your head up in that position. I'm just going to start on one knee, hit my front knee, step, and come up. One thing that I'm really timing and thinking about doing in my penetration step is coming up with my trail leg as my front knee hits the mat. So my front knee is coming right over my toes. As it goes close to the mat, I want this trail leg to come right up. The second this knee hits, I want to be able to push off of my trail leg, come up to my feet. Being able to stay in your stance and move in your stance is a really difficult thing. It's very simple, or it looks very simple, but it's something that requires a lot of practice and a lot of stamina building. So it's a really good thing to just practice being in your stance. I'm in a square stance or counter-attack stance where my feet are in line with each other, and I can just practice moving sideways. Notice when I step sideways, I'm stepping out with the leg of the direction that I'm going. So if I'm going left to my left, I'm going to step out there first, and then my other leg follows. In moving, I don't want to be coming up and down. I don't want to be losing my position by bending. I want to maintain a nice, strong back and move in here. Something else that we want to be mindful of is taking small baby steps. If I'm really taking these big steps in here and lunging, I tend to be slower and I don't move as well. So I want to be moving really short, choppy steps and quickly moving from position to position. It's also important to be able to move forwards and backwards. So if I'm in here, I step forward, my other leg is going to follow. If I step backwards, my other leg is going to follow. What we want to avoid is coming into this position where my feet are either too narrow or too wide. We want to try and maintain a good base with a good balance. We might see some of the higher level competitors breaking this rule and a basic rudimentary understanding of maintaining your base and balance from your feet, we want to avoid crossing our legs. And you'll see some players moving in this kind of rotating, circling movement, but that's a pretty high level concept. So let's avoid the temptation to want to cross our legs. And this happens a lot when we're in a staggered or an offensive attack stance. I'm in this offensive stance and then I want to move sideways and I move my leg here, and sometimes your opponent will time this and take you down from this. So if I'm moving left and I'm a left leg lead, I step out to my left. If I'm moving right and I'm a left leg lead, I'm moving out to my right. The same rule applies as if we're in our counterattack stance. If I'm moving right, left, staggered stance, right, left. Once we learn how to move and attack with our stance motion, we want to be able to defend as well. So there's two basic types of defenses. One is going to be the down block, and another one is going to be the sprawl. First, our down block. This is simple. I'm just going to be in my stance, drop my hands to the mat, either in a fist or with my hands flat, and then I'm going to just hop with both of my feet back. At the same time, my hips kind of come up and my head comes down with my arms. We want to be able to go into our down block and then come right back up into our stance, keeping mind of our head up, back straight, keeping our hips in. The next defensive move is the sprawl. In a sprawl, we want to drop our hips to the ground as fast as we can. Sometimes people tend to jump up and their hips actually come up and away from the mat first. When we do that, that gives our opponent an opportunity to get underneath our hips, underneath our legs, and finish the takedown from behind. So what we want to train ourselves to do is to drop my hands and my hips at the same time. Always training ourselves to come back into a good stance. If you find yourself getting frustrated with some of the exercise, that's a good thing. It means you're being challenged and you're challenging yourself to try new and different exercises. If you find yourself unmotivated to do them, that's not a good thing. So continue to challenge yourself, continue to work around it, do what you can do. If there's something that you just absolutely can't do, then don't do it. Do the other exercises, and that should help you build enough strength and movement to be able to do the more challenging exercises.